Good morning, students. Hope you are all good. I'm Mrs. Loucy. Today we're going to continue lesson 5 in chapter 6, Where is Earth's Water? The objectives of this section: students will develop models to communicate where water collects on Earth. Students will explain where water is found on Earth. Students will learn about Earth's freshwater resources. What we have covered in the previous video, the surface water is any water that is above the ground on Earth. And the water could be in different states of matter. When it is too cold, it is solid water. When we have moderate temperature, it is liquid water. And it is in the gas form when it is too hot. So ice is solid water that is found in glaciers and polar ice caps. Liquid water is found in rivers, lakes, the ocean, and other bodies of water. Gas form is the water vapor present in the atmosphere. And we can classify water bodies by the type of water they contain, if it is salt water or fresh water. Here we have the different types of water bodies: sea, pond, ocean, lake, river, glaciers, and ice caps. And to the right, we have this pie chart. The circular chart shows that salt water is about 97%, and fresh water is only a few percent, 3% of the water on Earth. And in fresh water, most of the fresh water is found in glaciers as ice, and the others in rivers, lakes, and groundwater. Today we're going to discuss groundwater on page 270. When it rains, water falls into bodies of water and onto the ground. So the rainwater can be classified into two groups: the runoff water and the groundwater. What is the runoff water? Runoff is the water that falls on the ground, runs into bodies of water, as the picture to your left. And what is groundwater? Groundwater is any water that is underground. It is the water that soaks into the ground. So it fills the spaces between soil particles and fractured rock beneath the Earth's surface, as the picture to the right. Here's a picture explaining more about the runoff water and the groundwater. The runoff water is after precipitation. So after it rains, the water that you see flowing over the ground surface is the runoff water. You can also see it flowing down the side of the road. And the groundwater is the water that gets soaked into the ground. And when no more water can be soaked into the ground, the rest of the water becomes runoff water. To understand better, I'll give you an example. If you are watering a plant, when you start watering it, the water will be soaked into the soil. This is the groundwater. And when no more water can be soaked into the soil, the water will start floating on the surface of the soil, and this is the runoff water. So what is the difference between runoff water and groundwater? The water that flows over the ground surface is the runoff water, while the water that is soaking into the ground is the groundwater. Groundwater fills the spaces and cracks in underground soil and rock. Think about all of the lakes, rivers, and ponds on Earth's surface. Although it is hard to imagine, there is more fresh liquid water underground than on Earth's surface. Groundwater is not trapped underground. It can flow slowly through most types of soil. In some places, groundwater may flow out of the ground and into a lake, pond, or river. A spring is a place where groundwater comes to the surface of the land. So here's pictures of springs. So when the water starts coming on the surface of the land, it comes in the form of a spring. What about people that live in a place with no lakes, ponds, or rivers nearby? How could they find fresh water? People could dig a well and find groundwater. What is a well? A well is a hole drilled into the ground to access groundwater. A pipe and a pump are used to pull water out of the ground. Similar to the one in the first picture, the first well is a dry well because they didn't dig deep into the ground, so they didn't reach the water. The second well is a producing well because they reached the groundwater, and the pump and the pipe are used to pull the water out to the surface of the ground. The second picture is a different type of a well, and these wells were used in old days, and they used to get water out by their hands. And the third picture is similar to the one in your book. Let's solve question number 4 on page 270. Why do people dig wells to reach groundwater? Possible answer: people dig wells to reach water underground. They need fresh water for drinking or for watering crops. Look at page 271, clean drinking water. People need clean water for drinking, cooking, and other activities. But fresh water from under the ground and from surface water bodies is not always clean. For example, lakes, rivers, and other water bodies can contain germs that could make people sick, or chemicals used to grow crops may wash into the bodies of water. So fresh water must usually be cleaned before people can drink it. In some places, people get drinking water from their own wells. They must filter the water to remove chemicals and dirt. Many cities have water treatment plants. Drinking water goes through a cleaning process that removes dirt and other materials and kills the germs. The clean water that travels through pipes to people's homes and business. So here's a picture showing you the water treatment plant. So here they collect the water and they clean it and remove the dirt and kill the germs. How a water treatment plant works. Water from wells or lakes or rivers to the plant. Special compounds remove the dirt particles from the water. The water moves in the pipe, and in these, like boxes, the dirt settles to the bottom and the water becomes cleaner. Then the water passes through filters to purify it further. So here there's more cleaning for the water, killing more germs, taking out the dirt from it. And then disinfection means kills the germs. And here the water is clean, and from the water tower to your home. As your homework, I want you please to read and understand pages 270 and 271. Then solve question 5 on page 271, plus solve the questions below on your copybook. Question number 5 on your book. Write 2 things that are removed from water at a water treatment plant. Question number 1, you should copy it on your copybook to solve. What is groundwater? Question 2, what is runoff water? Question 3, what is the difference between runoff water and groundwater? Question number 4, should you drink fresh water straight from a lake or river? Explain. I will give you the answers by tomorrow. For now, stay safe and study well.